Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Britballin. I'm your host, Matt McGugan, and I'm joined by my lovely angel of the north, Adam Wilkin. How are we doing this evening?
Oh, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah, the usual Monday roundup. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
How's my Manchester bee going?
Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing, mate. You know the script. Yeah, good. Bit weary, but yeah, not bad. So week 2's in the books. Week two, some of it is in the books. Here at the breakdown on Britballing, we ain't going to pull any punches tonight because nothing we hate more than postponed games or not so postponed games.
You know what it is, right? Like, I'm going to pull a few. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to pull a few punches because I think one team's got a very valid reason why they didn't play.
Which one? Who you saying's got a very valid reason?
Holton. 100%.
Do you think?
I'll be like, see you later, boys. I'm off.
What? Right, okay. Let's get it from the top of the show. For anyone just joining in, this is going to probably one of the most viewed, talked about points, right? Holton Spartans. If what you're saying, so what's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts is I thought they were very clever to pull out. I'm not going to lie.
So very clever to pull out. So does that by any way insinuate that what they're saying in terms of numbers? I mean, we've all seen the memes this week, and
yeah, I've seen them. But you know what it is? I've spoke to someone at the club, and they wanted to play like the players themselves that were available wanted to play with 20. That's how many I was told they had, 20.
Yeah.
I haven't seen how many they've said they've had, but I don't think you can play Titans with 20 players. Like, I just don't think you can do that.
Yeah. Question then. If that was against Lee Miners, do they play the game?
Fucking right you do.
All right, okay. So not right you do. Do Holton play so could it be said that they're avoiding
I think
that
you know
game?
what it is, right? I think there's only a few teams that would probably travel to Manchester with 20 players. Like, and I think we've seen it from Prem teams before, man. The old tactical withdrawal, if we're using that phrase.
Yeah, that's a good phrase. That's what we'll call it, the tactical withdrawal. It shall be forever known.
Like, we know players from Holton. Like, they're friends of the show. Like, we know them. And I know those guys would have wanted to play that game and either go and play their best, and if they got the arse kicked, they got the arse kicked, and it wouldn't have been an issue. But for a team where, especially after COVID, where we don't know what really teams shape are up, like they're not. We don't know what they're shaping up like. Let's be honest.
Well, I think we're finding out not very well. I think that's very I think that's clear in abundance from this week. Teams aren't stacking up very well whatsoever. This is not the same. I know Bafra have done the best to try and keep as many teams as possible, but there isn't that many players that there was previously, I don't think.
No, I think there's a lot
You've
of players.
You've got no bottle. If you've got any bottle, you'll send him off. If you've got any bottle...
Get him off. If you've got any bottle, you'll send him off. Oh, like, it's one of them, though, mate. Like, it's sensible. Like, I mean, they could have...
It's sensible, but it's sensible for them. But there's obviously a load of lads at the Titans who are going to be frustrated that they've not had a game.
Yeah. And I don't blame them for that, right? Of course, they're going to be pissed off. But at the same time, like,
we're sure the Titans are pissed off. But from all intents and purposes, 20 guys, I'm sure they had a better training session than they would have playing against Holland by the sounds of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's like some games just they're not worth it, and do you know what I mean? Like,
I can't speak.
I can't speak. I just
you paid to say that.
Oh, it's Guy Richardson. I love you, Guy. I just don't. That's not beneficial to either team, that game, if it went ahead, if I'm honest. Anyways, like,
no,
like I don't think it is.
But, okay, so the question is then, okay, we know COVID's a massive part of this season and flare-ups will happen. Explain to me this then. If they wanted to play that game, what we've seen this week is 3 postponed games. Why forfeit the game? If they wanted to go ahead with the game, and I know you probably agree with me on this, but it's more a question of Holland Spartans that if they really wanted to play that game and the team wanted to, just postpone. Let's play it later on in the season. But no, it was a clear forfeit, which to me just says
but again, like
it's a TW.
Like I've just said before, like for me, I don't think either team gets a benefit from it in the first place.
Yeah, like same can be said for most of the season, though.
I know that, and that's what I'm saying. Like on the season as a whole, like I don't understand what is expected to happen. If you know what I mean. Like I understand people are expected to just go and play, but
see, I suppose we may as well get into this matter as well. Obviously, we had Warren Smart on, and it's probably the main point I disagreed with him on. His thoughts were all teams have signed up and they all agree to have rotation, and they all agree that, it should be a developmental season and everyone should be helping each other grow the game. Do you agree with that thought process, or do you just go and put your best team out and think it's a bit of a joke that it is what it is?
Honestly, like... Right, so here's the situation, right? Everyone knows you pay to play this sport, okay? Whether you are good at the sport and you are a starter of a team, or whether you are not as good as the starters and maybe get a little bit of game time in a normal situation, or you are not ready to play in that team yet, you pay the same amount of subs. So realistically, I don't think you're being fair on your starters if you don't play them.
Yeah.
If I'm completely honest. But
yeah. I think I agree with Sam. And we've had this discussion many times in the past, and Chris Wright's just commented, so we'll go back to that. I think that at the moment it's clear there are too many teams in BAFRA at the moment. Whilst we all want to see the growth of the game, I think we've discussed even in the North East till we're blue in the face. There's too many teams for that catchment area. There is a good Prem team in the North East of England. I seen what Gateshead had when I went to train with you guys. I've seen that he's obviously took a drumming off Northumberland, so that means that they're a decent enough team. Darlington's team have just popped up, which is relatively close, I think, to you guys. And have you got another one up there as well? Obviously, you've got DC Presidents.
DC Presidents, yeah.
I just think there's a Prem team up there. Yeah, North East Eagles.
That's it, Robbie. We spoke about this, Robbie. I love Robbie, by the way. He was MVP in the Vikings game, by the way. Disruptive as fuck. Well played.
Yeah. But I think there's clearly one team up there. And the same, we've seen it, potentially again in a game that was played this weekend in Sheffield and Yorkshire Rams and Leeds Bobcats. There's a team there who not only can compete at that Prem level, which Sheffield are proving time and time again, but got really challenged to win it. There's a good Scottish team. Maybe Manchester don't really need to win at Merseyside. Maybe that's a bit far, but you could put Halton into Merseyside.
Mate, right, we need to get to the situation where people can start maybe getting a bit of money where they don't have to go to work on the fucking Monday. Do you know what I mean? For a start, or getting some decent insurance where if they do get hurt and they're missing work, then it's not an issue. But at the minute now, for me, I think that's where the issues are lying. Like, I think if I'm completely honest, with mergers and things do need to happen. But we need to cater for that elite level where people want to go and push Prems teams and things like that, and they want to be there. But we also need to still don't forget about the guys that just want to play the sport because they love it.
Yeah,
and you need to find that balance.
And I think when we had the conversation really early on about maybe like a 9v9 league, which is sitting underneath the actual league, and you have a clear Div 1 and a Div 2. No disrespect, get rid of Div 1 and Prem, get rid of Div 2 altogether, align some of those leagues, have a Super League kind of premiership, with more pools of resources, players, meaning more travel. There's something in there, but I'm worried because obviously we're on with Pete and stuff on the 10-year plan.
Right? Honestly, I know we are, right?
But I don't think this is going to be a part of it.
I hope not. Sorry, Pete. We'll see you in a couple of days. No, but
I don't think the problem is this isn't going to be a part of it. Are we at the point now with Britball, and this is going way off to kind of top it? Are we at the point with Britball where we need to stop, draw a line in the sand, and go, enough's enough with the likes of, no disrespect, the DC presidents, and they come to mind because we've been talking about them quite a bit. Enough's enough with that kind of dropping in and out. I'm sure West Coast Trojans will appear at one point again in the future, or if not, they're already trying. There's these teams that are preferably quitting and coming back, and where do we draw the line to go, actually, no, like, or a lot of people are still off that boat of, well, the American dream almost.
Right. The league, honestly, right, needs to stop this whole entering the league. All you need is this, and this.
Yeah.
What for me, what I want the league to do is go, right, this team, and this team, or however many it is, you're my Prem teams, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Done. Go recruit players from all these other teams. And there's still enough teams for Division 1 and Division 2, but make it a little nugget at the Prem teams where they can maybe slip a player a few quid, or they can be like a semi-pro player, whatever it is. Yeah. Like, you don't even need imports. Like, fuck, there's enough players if you just pool the talent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
and especially, and it's hard not to talk about it, but with what you can see the EFL doing, I mean, how long, realistically, if I was a betting man, I couldn't see a London team competing in the EFL as early as next year. I could see it. I really could see it.
Well, you could see them competing in it.
A London team. I'm not saying a Warriors team. I'm not saying a Blitz team. I'm saying a London team, for example, a London team which might combine of a lot of the London Warriors and a lot of the London Blitz guys and blah, blah, blah. But I can see that being an EFL. Take care, Robbie. I can see that being an EFL team. I genuinely can in the not too distant future.
Yeah. And for me, I don't think they need to get like imports from the States or whatever in to compete there. No. I think we've got enough talent in the UK to last and to hold our own. And I think we still need 2 other divisions underneath the Prem. But I think they need to be more localized. Like, stop having to pay a fucking fortune. Like, stop the likes of like Aberdeen, who I know Aberdeen pull down things, and we'll probably get onto it later on. But stop having to make them travel fucking hundreds of miles to play a team.
Yeah,
like make a structure in place where it's cost effective. Like, if this sport is already fucking expensive for someone else to have to play, like,
I mean,
it's
this year it's not a bad example. If you take those, I mean, we've brought down the division quite often. There's some quite nice divisions, and listen, look, you take the Manchester Titans, for example, and you take Tamworth, and let's say you take those Prem teams out of those divisions. They're okay divisions, like they're good, the regional, people aren't travelling a mile, and then, no disrespect, you make the Prem teams travel. So yes, there might be one Super League, let's say, and yes, Edinburgh, if there is a Scotland team, if you want to be that Prem team, you might have to travel to London. I'm sorry about that, but that's what it takes to play at that level, or the nearest team to you is Newcastle.
Like, I mean, even this, right? Like, you need the other 2 leagues to develop coaches and players in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying get rid of him, but I think there should be. I think back to our original theory of 1 elite Prem, a Div 1 which is competitive but regional, and then I do believe like there's a place for like a nine-a-side Sunday league.
It doesn't even need to be 9s. That's the thing. It really doesn't.
No,
like you can still play 11s at that football. Like,
you could, but then again, you could go down and play 5s.
You could if you wanted, but like
you could play 7s. But what I'm trying to make is that doesn't need to be, because I can only speak from experience seeing the Manchester Bees who have tried to get into the league. They haven't got enough linemen. If you said to the Manchester Bees, it's 9v9, you need 5 linemen, 3 or 6 linemen, they could have competed this year.
Yeah, and I've said this before. We've done a show on the AV8 league and stuff. Like, for me, there is room for that. There's more than room for that. Yeah. But I don't think you need to do it. I think that could be like a separate entity altogether. Do you know what I mean? Have a really local league then.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, because one of the problems
we can play this year round, you know.
Yeah.
Like, we can actually play this sport year round. And I know there's like, oh, there's not enough refs for this, and there's not. Give the good refs to the elite league, and we'll figure something out for the rest. Like, we'll sort something out. Like, I don't even want to speak about refs if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, let's not bring up refs. This is a safe space for
not
refs.
just we'll do refs in a bit, like later on. But like,
I mean, it's a great point by David Gray. Prem separate, Div 1 and Div 2, bring Div 2 to. But I think no promotion relegation, ballers can go up and down as they fit and join different teams. I think the biggest problem with all this is the likes of a Tamworth who came from nothing and, are now something within 4 or 5 years. There is some outliers, Sandwell Steelers, that kind of thing, but it's just a new team. But that team could be, they could just take over one of the teams like a Birmingham or whatever.
No, but it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, scrap fucking everything. Scrap everything if you want, and just say that there's a team here. This is what it's going to be called. The league decide everything. Like,
I'll tell you what we should do. Let's put a pin in this, and we'll do a show on it. We'll do a show where we actually draw up what we think the new league should be like.
It'll be like a fucking 12-hour show.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll get people on from all you've played in different levels. We'll do like a big show and we'll do like kind of what that league could look like. So yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, cool. Right, let's break it down then. Good chat so far.
Where the fuck did this come from, by the way?
I don't know. Well, because to be fair, the reason I had it on my list of what to talk about, because for me this season at the moment is at risk of. Mm-hmm. There's already talk of it being a bit of a joke of a season. Let's be honest. Like there's enough groups and you hear enough people talking where it's a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It really is. It seems like people aren't getting another 24-hour stream. That's what we'll do the next 20. No. John, come on.
I was goosed for a week after that one.
Yeah. Not enough quality coaches in the country for every team. Come from nothing. That's why it doesn't happen often. Yeah, it's true. And again, all these teams that do set up is usually because somebody else is frustrated with somebody else.
But let's have like an actual like coaching pathway and things. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that you're going to develop your coaches through it. You're then going to develop your players through it, and like a selection process, like you hold trials and things, and there's like the teams in the other divisions aren't going to be like, oh, we've lost our player because he's gone to this. Like, it doesn't make a difference. Like, in, he's got in that team. Like, we coached him here and he's gone to that team.
I think there's a fairly straightforward answer for Stuart there, and that's money.
Yeah, money, 100%.
They marketize it a lot better than we ever could dream of. So yeah, I think that's the key difference. But then again, there's a lot that probably could. I'll probably get all the backlash from all my stalker, but here goes what happened to the Manchester B. I think we just said that. They didn't have enough linemen. Yeah, they said that. So, and that's why we've talked about before at that entry level having like a 9v9. I don't think you lose much. You lose 2 tackles. You can still run offense from that.
You can still it can still look like good football as well, to be honest. Like you can still
I think so. Yeah. Shall we go through the games then?
Let's do it.
Let's go. So, for me, first thing we have to talk. We've already talked on it. Halton get in the bin this week. You cancelled your game for me. Get in the bin. So that's going to be my thing. You get in the bin this week. Because for my theory is simple. If we've seen a lot of postponed and a lot of abandoned games, different things this week, you really want to play the game, you postpone it. End of and that's the conversation pretty much out the window for me.
I don't blame them for what they've done. Simple as that.
No, but again, we both agreed if there's playing the league minors, they play this week, in our opinion.
Yeah, but that's different, isn't it?
Oh, to be honest. Crap, we forgot. We've changed the red this week. Before we get on to our actual...
yes.
Yes, because we forgot it's actually coming home, isn't it? We talked about this pre-show.
It is.
It's coming home. So we thought we'd go England. So it's coming home, guys. So we changed it to England for you all. Sorry for asking.
Pete, if you're watching, the guy that changed his profile picture to a German flag before the game, that's for you, son. That's for you, right?
It's actually coming home. People are saying we're cursing it. It's not. It's a fact. I've checked. It's an actual fact. It's actually coming home.
It says on Wikipedia that it's coming home, so it's coming home.
Yeah, it's 100% fact. So there you go. That's our little. It's cool. So that's our little nod for that this week. We'll leave the ticker running at the bottom. So first game. So we had a couple of postpones this week. So Worcestershire Black Knights and Hereford Stampede, not Hertfordshire Stampede, like we said last week, was postponed.
Give a monkey Stampede. We got it right, didn't we? Let's be honest.
Stampede, yeah. So that was a postponement, and Cambridgeshire Cats versus Colchester Gladiators. Anyone can comment in the chats as to why they were postponed. Be interesting reading to see kind of what happened.
It's gonna just be said COVID, isn't it? Let's be honest. Like that's gonna
be the reason. Just be down to COVID.
But it's gonna happen. That's gonna happen a lot more as it goes on. By the way.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty gutted. I think our game of the week from last week didn't fully come to fruition. So we had the Sheffield Giants versus the Yorkshire Rams. Sheffield were winning 20-6. The Yorkshire Rams, the Premiership Sheffield Giants. I would say by half-time, you would say that's in control. 3 touchdowns to 1.
Yeah, okay. I'd say it was in control.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm sure Sheffield went a score down as well. If I'm honest, if I've heard that right.
Yeah, you often find these things. Sheffield played last week. Yorkshire would have scouted him, saw something early on, probably exploited it. Go up a score. Sheffield get the shit together, and it probably would have run out convincingly in there. I would guess, unless people will probably come at us in the comments. If not, I'm assuming at that point Sheffield would have started to rotate anyway. But I think it was Thunder and Lightning that got the better of them.
Yeah, it was. Apparently, after they called it off as well, about half an hour later, it was like blazing sunshine. There's a tweet from Toby saying, "Do you want to come back as well?" Which is funny. I loved it. I was like, "Yes, he's asked them to come back."
Interesting from the Rams, Adam Cowler. It was closer than the scoreline looked. First game jitters for the Rams. It is what it is. We can only go off scorelines. 20-6 seems all right at halftime. I've seen a couple of clips, so I'm sure the Rams can prove us wrong in the next game against them. But good to see. I'm really fond to see the Rams actually running Sheffield close, and who knows what would have happened. We've seen from the.
You know what else as well? So another shout out that I want to give to Sheffield here, by the way, and Manchester's not going to like this, but they absolutely battered the under-19s. Sheffield beat the Titans 19s this week. So that was a hell of a result. Like a result that I kind of think I know how the results are going to mainly go at youth and junior football. And that one is one that I got completely wrong. So
from my understanding, I don't know if I'm right. I know the Manchester Titans under-19s. I know we've got the adult team have got 3 or 4 of their under-19s players and NFL Academy. So I think they've lost quite a core of their team. And I had a look at some of the pictures and they seem quite small this year. So I think maybe that was the reason for that. But great result for Sheffield. Fair play to them. Another postponement. So we had the off-season or last season drama of who was the original Green Machine between the Halton Spartans and the Leicester Falcons. I think if everyone remembers that drama.
By the way, none of them were right, by the way.
Because it was the
Because I sent them I sent them like a message from like 5 years before they'd even formed, and I was like, you're kind of wrong, boys.
So,
but never mind.
Not only did... So we've got a new bit of drama to spice up between them. So last week on the show, we said we think we have the oldest player in Britball, with John Dermott playing at 53. Well, however, the Leicester Falcons seem to top trump them this week. And in true Leicester Falcons style, shrouded by absolute controversy, as always with Leicester. I've tried to get the inside scoop. Nothing other than that.
There's a flag on a player. There's an ineligible receiver and quarterback on the field. Shouldn't be doing that.
So, they top trumped them this week with a 55-year-old starting quarterback. So what I think happened with Leicester is, dare I say, Leicester's Americans were classed as ineligible. Now, I've got it on good authority. What had happened is Leicester had previously spoke to BAFA about their Americans and the paperwork side of things. And then what ended up happening is there was an inquiry a couple of weeks ago from another team who then raised that with BAFA, and then BAFA have came back and started to ask for the paperwork again for Leicester's Americans. I mean, for me, I've said it before and I'll say it again, just let them. I don't really care. Let them play. Are you good? Like iron sharpens iron and all that. If they've got Americans, and they only make our league better and a better prospect to watch, so I don't really care for it. However, if they're there illegally, then unfortunately there's rules. We need to keep to rules. It's difficult. However, I like watching.
They looked a
Leicester always
completely
stream the
different
games.
team.
Yeah, I mean, when your head coach kicks up at 55 and plays quarterback. No, he might have been a good quarterback in his day, but unfortunately, he's 55. His body's just not going to be able to take it the way a younger lad would. So, shame for them, because I think they looked really good last week. I would like to have watched that game again.
It was
those guys.
It was a moment where I was watching the game and I thought, I don't know if Leicester are playing badly or if Shropshire are actually playing really well. Like, I thought it looked quite decent, the game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to Shropshire as well. We had a couple of messages from Shropshire last week who were pretty pissed that they were in our rankings. You know what?
Right there.
Yeah, you've proved us wrong. Like, we did actually say to them, go and prove us wrong, and they proved us wrong. So, well played, Shropshire. Looked really up for it. I mean, they've always had good players at Shropshire. I know Alistair plays defence, and they've got good wide receivers. Quarterback looked sharp this year. So, yeah, I think fair play to them. They look good. It was 0-0. I think maybe with the Americans,
Shropshire one of those. Yeah, but Shropshire were one of those that were pissed off that their QB didn't get in our rankings and things as well.
Oh, well,
and he played decent.
Yeah, he did play decent, but he didn't score, so no disrespect.
But Leicester didn't lose anyone on defense.
Yeah, but they also I think they've got one guy. I think they've got 3 Americans, 1 defense, 1 wide receiver, and 1 quarterback. If I'm wrong, please, I'm sure Marcus will tell us in the chat. And I think Marcus wasn't playing as well, Babanska. Don't know why, but that was obviously Marcus is a great player for them, so they was lacking a couple of stars. So I think with those stars, they probably do beat Shropshire. Sorry, Shropshire. Take 4 good guys out of it, you're going to be struggling. So yeah, that was actually called at halftime, or at some point in the second or third quarter due to an injury. I think that was a pretty tough injury. I think a lad collapsed on the field. So thoughts and prayers. Adam's literally pouring a drink for him right now. Thoughts and prayers out to him and his family, and hopefully he's all right. I've not seen much, but hopefully, fingers crossed, he's actually okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
Marcus keeping his lips closed and fingers close to the pulse. I can neither confirm nor deny any allegations you made.
Oh, here we go. This is the new one, isn't it? Oh, this is the new one. They're going to be the first to go dark on the Warriors won't comment because they don't talk to anyone.
No, the Warriors don't talk to anyone. No, but hopefully,
I am drinking Pepsi Max, Chris Peel. Pepsi Max.
I've also been assured from inside sources that Leicester will get the paperwork sorted this week. They were told on the Friday, couldn't get it ready to Sunday, so they should have everything ready and everything should be cleared up and squeaky clean for next week's game.
During their interview on the stream itself, they said it could take up to 3 weeks.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so if they've gotten it done already, then bloody hell.
I think what it is, they have to be in the country for 6 months, don't they? They had to have been in the country for 6 months, to play. I mean, I don't get it, because how can you ever get imports over? But then we're an amateur league, aren't we? So we can't be paying people. Yeah, great point there. Yeah, fair play to one side for not filming the player who collapsed. Should be standard, unlike in the Euros. Completely agree. Yeah, I think seeing obviously them doing that. Yeah, fair play, Aaron.
You know great what comment. It is? Onside always do a cracking job. like shout out onside. Like they literally do a cracking job every time. So fair play.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think you. Do you have to pay for them? I've always wondered this. Do you pay for onside to be at your games? I'm assuming so because it's hard to say, but they only do Leicester games. So
I'm sure they've got a few more that they're doing though this year. Like not just Leicester. I'm sure they're doing others as well.
Right. Okay.
Like I'm sure they've got their schedule up on their website where they're doing. I mean, I don't think that their equipment will be working out in Gateshead or anything up in the northeast because it's pissing down all the time. But never mind.
Yeah, no, nobody wants to see that. So speaking of the northeast, let's get to it. Gateshead Senators 6, Northumberland Vikings 48. You went on record and said the Northumberland Vikings only had one offensive lineman and it should be a closer game. We had
I said they had one returning offensive lineman. You know what it is? I thought both teams didn't look up to scratch, if I'm honest. I think the Vikings rotated and things and looked decent, but like Robbie coming off the edge, and then you had Ross catching passes that shouldn't be caught. Their QB, they've got two good QBs there that both are fast, really, really fast. I think both teams need to work on tackling, if I'm honest. Like, Gator got yards that they shouldn't have been getting because of a couple of tackles, but they're tackling numbers, which is clever. Gator had a few missed tackles that went for touchdowns and things, but for me, like, they deserved it to win, like, comfortably, and they could have won by more. That's not a lie. They could have won by more. But in the same breath, Gator could have scored a couple more. It's one of those. Like, I think the result was decent on the day, but I think there's a lot more to come from Vikings, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so a breakdown of their scoring summary.
And they rotated well.
So it's a rushing touchdown by Johnny.
The onside kick.
Mboye, I think I got that right. And then a 2-point catch by Lee Davidson. Then another rushing touchdown by Johnny. And a 2-point by Harry Clark catch.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read through these. 78-yard TD, all yak by Ross Conley. Rushing TD by Johnny. So that's 3 for Johnny, 1 for Ross. And then another 63-yard receiving touchdown by Ross. 32 receiving touchdown by Jack Mulholland. Who scored for Gateshead? Receiving TD?
Cam. A lad called Cam. I can't remember his name.
And then a 57-yard TD by Ross Conley. 2-point catch by Jack Mulholland. See, for me, the only thing I would say, fair enough, but you just talked about rotation. Ross is catching touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
By 40.
But, I mean, they also, Cam Grant, that's his surname. Yeah. They were onside kicking and stuff as well, which was, it wasn't really an onside kick. It was, you know what it is, right? This really annoyed me. Like, this took me from the stand after my academy training session onto the sideline because I was so annoyed because they kept doing this looping kickoff, right? And I'm totally breaking down. Like, they're not going to get to do this again. Sorry. All you've got to do, if they kick it high and short, it's fucking fair catch it, boys. Fair catch. They can't come and touch you. But it was like panic mode set in. The drop, like I couldn't get over there till the fourth quarter, and they were still doing it every play, and it was working for them. Like, Jesus Christ, like, come on. That's like, it's one of them. But
again, it goes back to that point earlier on. Like, I don't see a problem with that. Like, for me, that's a Div 1 team playing last year's Div 1 team and just gone to Div 2.
There is not an issue with that. I'm saying Gateshead should have been more switched on to stop that.
Yeah,
like that is that's a basic fix. Like,
but then like my point there was, there's a 57-yard receiving touchdown by Ross Conley in the fourth quarter and a 2-point catch by Jack Mulholland. They were clearly 2 starting receivers, I would assume. I don't think
Jack is. Jack's a hell of a player, by the way. Like, Jack's one.
But I don't have a problem
with
that being. I don't have that being a problem with that being a 48-6 scoreline and them running it up in the fourth quarter. Not a problem for me whatsoever, but people will comment going, or you starting receiver scoring touchdowns in the fourth quarter. What's like for me? Crack on, it's good. Well done.
No, do it. They pay the same subs. Do it.
Yeah, that's the message loud and clear from us, I think.
Yeah, like for me, like they played. I'm not gonna lie. Just because those guys scored at that time, they were rotating. I promise you, they were rotating.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of missed tackles by both teams. Their offensive line played very, very well. They're not a big offensive line, so I wouldn't say they're big, but they're a smart offensive line, a well-coached offensive line. And they just move the pocket. The quarterback sits in behind it. They then have lots of cutback lanes for running backs. And it's basic things that if Gates had fixed it, it could be like a closer game next time. Don't get us wrong. I think the receivers were too good for the cornerbacks and things. And leaving Ross with the linebacker is fucking stupid. But it's one of those situations where hopefully the coaches can fix it.
Yeah. A couple more scores ticking along at the bottom. As you can see, Bournemouth Bobcats took an L to the Rushmore Knights. Probably an expected score. 31-8.
I called that.
What we had.
I called that
as our score for that, didn't we? Yeah, I think we ruffled that score. The Pasty Bowl.
Wait, can I just say something, right? Josh Poole has just commented saying Luke is not happy that it's that, right? So, right, Luke is one of my under 19 graduates into the senior team, right?
Yeah.
We will talk about this at training, Luke. One of them was yours. That's all I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I think Ben commenting there. We were rotating. We're not saying it's a problem. You don't have to, but even if you didn't, I don't think it's a problem. Like for me, I don't know where you draw the line. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think great point by Sam. It's going to be a recurring theme this year. Teams vilified for beating teams by more than 2 scores, but go out.
No, not on this show. You're not. Not on this show, I'm not. I'm telling you now.
If your third strings are better than the team starters you're playing, then fair play. There's nothing anyone can do about that, unfortunately. Pasty Bowl, Cornwall Monarchs, thump Torby Trojans. We thought that would happen.
I missed this by 1 point.
Yeah, you had that as 50-6, didn't you?
Yeah. And it was
quick question. Are you here in the same rumours as I am about Torbe? Yeah, I think it might be another one in the bin this week, from my understanding. Unfortunately, I think
I love Torbe. I love that team. I loved being part of them, but something's gone wrong. And I think we had a comment earlier on. You seen that someone said they love my accent. It was Guy Richardson. He's their former head coach. He's not now. Don't know what happened there, but I don't think that would happen under Guy. That's all I'm saying.
Well, unfortunately, 49. They took an L. Hertford to Cheaters. Good to see them beating Oxford Saints 19-6. Probably a bit closer than we expected, but 19 points for Will and the offense down there in Hertfordshire. So good result for them. Happy to see those guys getting a good result. Obviously, Will coming on the show previously using his analytics, and hopefully they'll just get better by what he's doing down there. So a good win there. Norwich Devils beating the Ouse Valley Eagles 26-6. Ouse Valley on a slow start now to the season. That's 2 fairly comprehensive losses.
I thought it was going to be more Devils. By Norwich.
Norwich are relatively new, aren't they?
Yeah, they
relatively new, aren't they, Norwich?
They're relatively new back playing. They used to play years ago, but as this form of Norwich Devils, but I thought they'd score more. I'm not going to lie, I really did. I thought they'd have more.
Yeah, well, still put it. Let's hope that was. This is the thing. It's always going to be this year. That might be just heavy rotation. Our friends of the show crew, RIP crew.
Christ.
Not bad. Not a bad result. 44-0 in the first outing to Sandwell.
Yeah, that's all right, mate, for Crewe. I think that's a decent score.
Yeah. I mean, that's no disrespect. I've seen
kept
an
that under
interesting point
50.
the other day. Yeah, that's it. They've not been very good. They're, I think someone described them as like a 500 team at Div 2. That's who they are. They'll win 2 games, 3 games at Div 2. They've got no chance against Eliza Sandwell. Sandwell probably going out to make us. I think one of the things that we might be goading people into is putting up scores, because scores will make you climb power rankings. So if you don't put up scores, no chance of climbing power rankings. So
no, it's not. It's not just shows that you're rotating. Do you know what I mean? Shows that if you're gonna do it, like, show some depth in it. Like, you don't have to rotate, but give us something. Like, send us fucking highlights. Like, I've sent these 100 times. Send us highlights. Show us something.
I think last week,
let's get your footage out there.
And as well, like I think Manchester last week, one of their guys contacted me straight away and just give me a rundown of the scores, and I think they scored 11 touchdowns with 9 different TD scorers or something like that. So, and their third string running back was getting touchdowns, and their backup receivers were. So, you know, if you can message us afterwards, it just informs our show a little bit better and lets us know what's actually going on. More than happy to then read that out. Nottingham Caesars got off to a decent start again, so they beat the Lincolnshire Bombers 38-19, so an impressive result for them. We like Nottingham this year. I think they're well put together this year, aren't they?
I think Lincoln were missing a few players, though, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
From what I heard, I'm sure they were missing a few players, but Nottingham's doing it. It's as simple as that, aren't they? Let's be honest.
That's what I mean. What can you do? You can only play the guys in front of you, and they're coming up against those guys and putting a result on them. So fair play to Nottingham for there. I've actually got some stats from the game. Unfortunately, no shout out for the offensive line, because they backed up the offense with 65 yards of penalties. So Coach Grant has said you owe him a hell of a load of sprints next week. But it didn't stop him putting close to 500 yards on Lincoln. Passing, Liam McGovern, 18 of 33, 225, 2 touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. Karim Hamdi, 15 carries, 119, 2 touchdowns. Samuel AJ, 1 carry. I love this. Samuel AJ, 1 carry, 75 yards and a touchdown. Love that. John Holmes, 9 carries.
Why didn't they just give him a second?
That's it. I think
a second carry.
There is this. So, because apparently they called a timeout when they was up 2 scores with Lincoln on 3rd and 5. This was to get the rookies on, in which they then scored a 75-yard touchdown with the 5th and 6th string running back, 3rd and 4th tight end, and a QB3. You don't think it's a dick play, but they wasn't expecting double tight split back duo play to go the distance, which is fair enough, because the running back's got nothing last week.
Trust me that you can't help it sometimes.
No.
You can't help scoring sometimes.
Ben Cheshire went 7 receptions for 135, and Rory Woodley 6 receptions, 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. So totaling 498 yards of offense. So good job on them. So yeah. Again,
I love the stats as well, by the way. Fair play.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, Grant, thanks very much for sending them over. Again, anyone who sends stats over, they will be read out live on stream. So good, and you get you guys a little shout out. So thanks very much for sending that out, Grant. So good result for Nottingham, and the fact that they're pulling those stats, and I think they were sent straight away on a Sunday. They've also got stats guys there, which is really good for the game and really good for them. So happy with that. You can see I'm saving one game to last. As you'll probably see, tickering along the bottom. But a big thumping this week, Bristol Aztecs, which is, as we've discovered, a Prem team, giving the Swindon Storm a bit of a hiding. The Swindon Storm are a Div 2 team, I think, aren't they? So we've had a bit of grief from our friends at the Aztecs/Pride last week.
Yeah.
The rankings, which I don't mind. Go and take care of business. 61 points.
They give us some stick, didn't they, during the week, let's be honest, for like where we had them in the rankings. Yeah, I mean, they always do, to be fair. But Yeah, I mean, you'll see what happens at the end of the show, won't you, boys? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, stay tuned and all that.
But I think
for me, game expecting that score with them.
With them, it's always hard in Bristol, isn't it? Like, because I'm assuming the Bristol team will be better this year, and this is no disrespect because the Pride guys can't go anywhere. So, you know, COVID would affect Pride guys going to the States, going to different, you know, places in Europe. There would just be a knock-on effect due to COVID. So I'm assuming the Pride lads have just stuck around and they beat a Div 2 team 61-0. They should beat a Div 2 team 61-0. They're probably that third best team in the South, aren't they? Arguably, well, maybe Kent this year. But yeah.
I want to see the breakdown on the scorers in that game. Like, I'd like to see how many different scorers there were.
Yeah, and I would also. I still wish they would have just went to London. Like, just go and play those London teams. Like, what are you gaining from this year? Like, what do you gain from that? When, from my understanding, they could have easily have slotted into that London team, that London division.
No, I think they've done the right thing in playing locally this year because it's not cheap for them to get to London. Let's be honest. And we didn't know whether they were going to have to sit apart on buses and things, and they've got a decent sized squad.
Yeah.
So it's like a double decker or like a double bus to go there.
Yeah, it's a good 2 hour drive, isn't it? So every game being 2 hours. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I don't know. Yeah, fair play. I get that, but I don't know. Not over the moon with it. I would like to have seen where they was at against all London teams. But who knows, maybe a friendly pre-season if what I'm hearing is true, where, what is it, end of July, we're all out of lockdown, no masks, no anything. The latest rumour is. So
apparently.
Fingers crossed.
Apparently.
Fingers crossed. So game of the week this week, I think is pretty clear. The Premiership team, Merseyside Nighthawks, 49. The Div 1 Chester Romans, 40. That was a shootout. Don't bring a knife to a shootout. What do you think of that?
Yeah, but didn't Chester Romans only just beat Halton the other week, didn't they?
Which is, yeah. And if we're going with that logic, last time Nighthawks and Manchester played, Nighthawks and Manchester have already split the season for the past 3 years, 1-1 each. So the Manchester side is interesting. I've never beat Merseyside at Merseyside's place.
So does that mean we need to put Chester up the rankings and Halton up the rankings? Or, well, Halton would come down because of the forfeit anyways. But like
Halton will never be in the rankings for the rest of the year. They could beat Manchester and they won't be in the rankings.
No, but like that's just nasty. No, but do you think we're going to have to move Chester up realistically? I mean, we're going to Chester a bit, but
we're going to Chester move up, and I think Merseyside slide. Like, take care of business. You know what I mean? Like, you're a Prem team. I'm understanding that they're relative. They've got some new players. They've lost some good players. Like, 89 points. Is that the most cumulative points scored in a game of the season? Probably so. And and considering that's from Manchester Titans,
what did the Titans?
83-0. So
yeah, because didn't they score 80? Yeah, there you go. What a dick.
Yeah, that's a fit. That's
Peel, I love you, but that's a dick move.
That's absolutely
a dick move, Peel.
Yeah. So
what a knob! Like, that's a dick move. That is an absolute dick move.
There was only one reason for that comment.
Christ.
No, but I think really, I mean, I did reach out to Chester to see if one of their coaches could come on. Really impressive result for Chester. Because they would have been, and rightfully so, frustrated with last week. They've got a great, media presence. They look great in the preseason.
I like what they're doing.
Squad.
I really do like their social. I really like what they're doing on socials at the minute.
Yeah, their defensive coordinator.
Was it Block?
I think he's Block 8 Media, I think it is. I think they're one of their defensive coordinators. Simo's one of the best in the country. I mean, he has just conceded 49, so we take that with a pinch of salt. But I think the fact what they've got set up there in Chester, they would wanted that result. And I think I can't see there being a lot of rotation away from getting them. No,
close to getting that as well.
I would like to, and hopefully I'll get to see some of the footage from that game and feedback. But yeah, I'm really, really impressed with that from Chester. Merseyside, just straight through. There's 9 points. I suppose they beat them. No,
doesn't look good for me, though.
And I know that they have lost some good players, and I'm pretty. They've lost. I think Harry's not playing this year. He was their starting quarterback, and one of their. He's just Harry Routledge speaks for himself, doesn't he? I'm not sure if their running backs there, LT. We know Johnny Weeks is playing for Tamworth, who was one of their best safeties. So I think they've got a lot of new DBs. So I think that's where they're just going to be struggling. But I know they've got guys from Halton, some of Halton's good players who've gone over there. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure that it's a new team coming together. I won't be surprised if Merseyside start to find their feet. And I think it's a good point there. John Wise, 75-minute delay for Lightning, possibly an X factor. Seemed like Merseyside had the game under control until that point of the delay. So, I mean, what was the score before that? Was a really good point, actually. But fair play for Chester for coming back after a 75-minute delay and getting close.
Yeah, but what's that show that they can't stay focused for 75 minutes or what?
Yeah.
Or did they send the players home? Or, right, boys, it's Lightning. All the starters, just get your car, go home just in case. You know what I mean? We'll give you a shout if we're struggling. Yeah. We were 49-26 with 2 minutes to go. Fair play, Chestnut. There you go.
Oh, right. So, maybe there was a couple of garbage time touchdowns or something, which makes the score look a bit closer. Yeah, 49-26 looks like a completely different game, doesn't it? Well, I think...
but the fact that they've got that up to 40...
Yeah, I think we'll see in 2 weeks, Manchester versus Merseyside. I think that'll blow the power rankings wide apart, don't we? I think in terms of where people are going. Yeah. I don't think, again, because we really want to do like a genuine MVP race for who's playing the best, but we're just heavily reliant on people getting us stats and people letting us know that in order for us to do that. So at the moment, that'll just
this has been the problem, right? This has been the problem. This has been the problem for years, right, Mike? So you remember double coverage? Double coverage was around, and they used to do like a show and stuff, or used to do like a similar to this, realistically, like a power ranking sort of thing. We didn't used to talk about it like what we did, but it was like a power rankings like video that used to go out. But no one used to send him shit. Are we still at the point now? Like this is like 5, 6, 7 years later that no one wants to send us stuff. Like, I mean, don't get us wrong. Fair play to the ones that did, and we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But come on, just
double coverage. I'll pull some out for double coverage.
Just tell what went on in your game. Rip double coverage.
If people do want to send us some stuff in, just tag coaches, anything. We're happy to do interviews with coaches and stuff like that. So it just makes we think that makes our show better, and the more we can be, we want to bring this product to you guys to make it as good as possible.
Mate, just tag what on Instagram.
Yeah,
put your highlights on Instagram and tag in it. Like, just we'll see it. We both got access to the Instagram. We'll see it. I promise.
Right, should we get into it? Do that time of the week.
Come on, then. Let's do it. Let's just do it.
But
before we do, no more death threats, right? People, like, come on.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to share my screen.
Get it on the screen. I'm dying to see where people think they're going to be.
Let's go. Okay, so do we start from the bottom?
No, I can start at the top. Got to start at the top, haven't I?
Start at the top. Yeah, so Warriors remain one.
I can't even see it yet. I can't. Oh, I can see it now. There we go. I can see it, right. So, okay. Yeah, Warriors won, definitely. Yeah.
Blitz 2. Still happy with that?
I am.
Yeah.
I think I am happy with it. Yes, I'm staying with
What
it.
are you thinking about?
Well, I'm just thinking, like, our team's just scared to play Manchester.
Yeah, I think so.
And do I put them up a bit?
Do we look over the that statement game has sent? I've had a lot of people messaging me about it. Is that such a statement game where we could reevaluate last week's? Kent wasn't the proof. Maybe Blitz aren't as good as we think, and Kent kept them close. Or what do we think?
For me, that on what's on screen there now, I think just for fear factor alone, you move Titans up to 2.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I would, yeah. The team didn't want to play him this week, and let's be honest. If those two teams played, the question would be: if that game went 50-0 to the Titans, would we have put Titans up to
what
2?
it is? I've just thought, right? It would, yeah. So if Titans went to 50, like they would go up, but
I think
Titans would put another 80. It's done them worse.
I think he's done them better because they could have only beat the team 80-0, and in which case they would have went up to 2. But the fact that a team's avoided playing what did we say? The tactical withdrawal, as we're calling it.
Tactic.
For me, gives them that fear factor, which I would say takes them to 2.
All right. Oh, we're gonna get so much hate for that, by the way. Like without them playing a game, we've moved them up 2 places.
Yeah, solid. I think it seems fitting. Blitz Exiles, Tamworth, you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So then we move into this difficult bracket. Merseyside, we probably are going to start to see to slide.
Yeah, I think Leicester are going to slide as well, mate.
You think Leicester coming down? I think it's pretty unfair for Leicester. The reason I wasn't going to slide Leicester down so far is because obviously they just didn't have the Americans, but
that's their own fault, isn't it? That's their own fault.
Yeah, it's
like they were 0-0 at half time versus Shropshire.
Yeah,
like Sheffield go up for me, and so do the O's and things like.
The O's haven't played, so I'm not bothered. I think Bristol come up. Sandwell took care of a team. Sheffield were beating the Rams, and Solent didn't play. So
I think you go Sheffield next, then Bristol, because Sheffield's on their second game.
Yeah. And do we move Sandwell up because they took care of business like we asked them to?
Yeah.
O's just slide a spot. Which is fair. And then Leicester come crashing back down to earth to 11. I think Leicester are going to be one of those most up and down teams in this.
Mate, they were 0-0. They were 0-0 at half time.
Yeah.
Like it's as simple as that. I think you move the Vikings up.
Yeah, Vikings crawl up. Yeah. And they took care of business against those two. Bournemouth definitely slide because they took an L.
Yeah. Chester Romans have got to go up.
Shropshire come into this. I like
Rams have got to go up.
This. Yeah, Rushmore
Knights. I think you've got to go. Farnham's got to go up. I think Farnham, Rams, and Chester go up, and I think it's that. I think you go Farnham, Chester, Rams.
Farnham. Is that Rushmore though? What we know them as now?
Yeah, Rushmore, Chester, Rams. Sorry for people.
Yeah, I think Chester do move up.
Go up.
I mean,
them two haven't played.
And I know that's the difficult thing I'm having here is this team was held 0-0 by this team. This team, like.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like,
so
for me, go down a bit.
Held our previously ranked 16 to 0-0.
So you want to put Shropshire and Leicester on the same bracket just for now?
No, I don't want to put them up there,
So,
because obviously...
No, I know. I just want you to so we can just see it on the screen that they tied with them.
Yeah, 0-0.
I would...
With the Americans, they probably beat them.
I'll see you put Merseyside above Leicester in them too.
Yeah. Northumberland
above I think you put Northumberland above Leicester.
You think they've took that far of a fall from grace? No, I think that last year
they've lost three players and not done anything.
Yeah.
They didn't score much last week.
Yeah, fair enough.
We had them there because it was Tamworth. We give them the little golden bone because it was Tamworth.
Yeah.
Like that, I think we've been very nice to them there.
Yeah, Shropshire there, Rushmore Knights there. They took care of business. Sheffield there.
Mate, I was so impressed. I was impressed with Shropshire. I really was. Like, I thought they'd done really well.
Yeah. There's no one here. Dreadnoughts, get out. Roughnecks, get out.
Well, Dreadnoughts, you can just delete, can't you?
Yeah, those two can just be deleted. There's no one in here. I mean, we got Hertfordshire there, but they got beat off them last week. So these are a couple of the bonus teams, so they can't beat them. So Wembley or Bournemouth in the bonus one.
I would. What was the Bournemouth score?
The
last one? No, they haven't done it yet. Well, yeah, they lost, so I'd keep Wembley in there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go back to the top. Let's go back through and we'll go choice to choice and just see what happens. By the way, drop us a comment if you think these need to be changed. That top one's staying. Fear Factor's got them up. Blitz and Exiles were so close it was split, so they can stay the same. Tamworth move. Tamworth staying at 5. Who only just beat Leicester is an issue I've got with them.
Does that mean Tamworth have to come
down? But they only just beat Leicester with the Americans.
Yeah, and Leicester have lost 3 or 4 of their good players, which we can't disagree with that. But this week's Leicester team wouldn't have competed against Tamworth, is what we're saying. A lot of people asking for Tamworth to come down.
Yeah, but how much are 4 players worth? I think we've got to, mate.
No, I can't. No,
I think
the reason is Tamworth. Yeah, but Tamworth beat Sheffield for me. Tamworth beat Sheffield. Like, if they played tomorrow, Tamworth beat them.
Right. Well, play someone and show us. Right. Well, play someone and show us. Play someone and show me.
But they didn't play this week. I can't. Yeah, I can. Yeah. Yeah, I can't move. I physically can't move Sheffield above Tamworth.
I think you've got to.
What? Like Sheffield were 20-6 against a Div 1 team. Div 1 team. They just had taken care of business.
Move. That was half time. I think you've got to stick Aztecs above them.
61-0 against a Div 2 team.
I think. Right.
So go and play
Tamworth only just beat Leicester. Scroll down. Look where we've put Leicester. Tamworth beat them by a score.
Yeah, but Leicester also then that with losing those 4 players have slid down. There was 0-0. The defense was still good because they was keeping out Shropshire. Had a good couple of goal line stances. They just didn't have some of their offensive guys where they would have had a full preseason. They had a 55-year-old at quarterback. Problem probably because he was
so where's the rest of their quarterback? Where's the rest of the quarterbacks?
Well, Marcus seemed like he was on the sideline as well, who played quarterback from last year.
Everyone knows I love Marcus, but I don't even think he can disagree with it. This is going to change every week, right? It'll change every week, no doubt. And I'm telling you now, after that piss poor performance the other day, I'm sorry.
Which is fine, but Sheffield, that was... I mean, who else does Sheffield play we can even rank them against? Who else is in that Yorkshire division?
There's no one really, but Sheffield will have to. We know that Sheffield rested players in that first game. We know that for a fact.
But we also said Sheffield go and have to prove themselves this week, and for me, 26 at half time against. But we've also heard the Rams guys saying it could have been closer,
right?
Which is going to happen.
I've also heard that. I've heard Sheffield say that it could have been worse. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the Sheffield were just coming into the game and then half time struck. Like so what was the final score in the Sheffield game? Because they got whatever it is. 26. Rams scored first in Sheffield, right? And so then they had 20 unanswered points scored just before half time. Sheffield were just getting into that game.
There's just no
pissing
way
down with rain. Sheffield can.
There's no way Sheffield
pissing down with rain
right now.
Right, and that's
so
fantastic.
You don't go above them.
But how do we know that? How do we know that they don't beat Tamworth right now after the performance we're seeing from Tamworth? Tamworth can go out in their next game, and honestly, the head coach knows we love him on here. Like we haven't got anything against Tamworth, but I've got players that played in my junior team at Tamworth now. But like still, for me, it wasn't convincing against Leicester. I understand it was against the Americans. But the next game, they could go out and fucking dominate someone and put them up. But for this week, I think we've got it. Well, for me, you've got to switch Aztecs and Giants round, anyways.
Aztecs and Giants
on round. That. And I think as. So no,
if you want me if Aztecs above
Tamworth. Switch it back. Nah, right. I think they should fall one more place, and just because of the result this week, pairing up to the result last week, I think you've got it.
The top 5,
and I know people are gonna hate that, but it's still not the same. And Chris, I did hear that as well. But he dropped it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've seen it in the NFL. If they drop it, like, they're still going to be like, oh, see, I had great coverage. Like, it doesn't make a difference. But
Jason, I'm with you. I don't think Sheffield beat you guys. I'm struggling with seeing that. That is
Jason.
This is you versus Jason. I'm out on this one.
But I love Jason. He knows this, but I don't know what I'm meant to say this time because they know one result and they're gonna fucking pull that up again, aren't they? Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna catch back up and go up there. But I can't see it again. But that result against Leicester and then Leicester's result this week, it looks bad. I'm happy with them at 6.
Yeah, but Leicester. I'm gonna have to argue this. But Leicester lost a lot of their good players, so you can't agree with that. So that's we're talking about 2 different Leicester teams. The Leicester team that played Tamworth last week was a good team.
Yeah, right.
This
Listen
week,
to this.
You've lost four superstars.
Mike, answer me this, okay? If Manchester Titans, you were playing, went up against the Warriors, but the Warriors, this is the final, by the way, the Warriors had a few people out sick and you beat them, did you still beat the Warriors?
You still beat the Warriors, yeah.
Yeah, so then that's what happened.
So all right, I'm going to ask you a question. Tamworth play Sheffield tomorrow. What's the score?
I don't care because I'm going
off results. No, you answer the question.
I'm not predicting. I'm doing a ranking. I'm doing a ranking. All right. I am. I'm doing a ranking of now, not of tomorrow. I'll cheat. I'll do that one tomorrow. If it happens.
But the ranking of right now, Tamworth haven't played this weekend. So for me, there's not a ranking in this country where Tamworth are in the top 5.
Right. So
Sheffield didn't do that much to warrant going that high. There's too many comments in here to say the Rams were close to them.
Right, and that's fine. So then we need to adjust the rest of the table, then, don't we? Realistically. Yeah. Because for me, that Leicester result bucks it all. And that's the issue that we're having now. Like I understand they played them with the Americans. I get it, Jason. I know you're going to be pissed at this, but I'm sending you a very good running back this year to Nottingham. So give us a break, right?
Look, I give you the Kent one last week, so I'm gonna pull the rank on this one. I can't put out. It's Tamworth are better than Sheffield. I give you the Kent one last week.
You've got to go. You've got to go on the results.
Yeah, and the results for me, if Sheffield did that against a Prem team, I would happily do that with Sheffield. If Sheffield went and beat Edinburgh 20-6 at halftime, then fair enough. I would allow it. Yeah. However, he beat the Yorkshire Rams, a Div 1 team who struggled last year in Div 1. Like, it's not as if they beat a really good team. No disrespect to the Yorkshire Rams, but Yorkshire Rams are a Div 1 team. Tamworth beat a very good Prem team last week. Leicester are a Prem team.
They beat Leicester. No, they're not. They're a Div 1 team.
Leicester are a Prem team playing in Div 1.
Leicester are a Div 1 team. What division are Leicester going to be in next season when it goes back to normal?
You know what? I don't know.
Division 1. To be fair, if they keep losing players and can't bring Americans in, they might be in fucking Division 2.
These are the most mental rankings. You're going to do this every week. Need a separate show, gents. Yeah, we're right, we do. But it's because we're passionate about this. Tamworth go 5. I can't even disagree with this. Yeah, Tamworth for 5.
Right, I'll tell you what. No. Leave it in the comments now, right? Put in here who should be at 5.
Yeah.
Just type in now who should be at 5.
Tamworth or Sheffield.
Because
if you're a part of Tamworth or Sheffield, you can't comment. That's fair. So only neutral parties.
No, they can. Like, let anyone come. Because for me right now, after that result, you've got to look at the 2 results that happened.
I am.
We need to look at those 2 results, mate, and like it's the 2 Leicester ones that drags Tamworth down.
No, because the Leicester one last week allowed Tamworth to be where Tamworth were last week.
Britball can get booked if he thinks there, my gun. Kent, Tamworth.
I mean, we're not moving the Aztecs up because you beat a Div 1 team. Yeah, Div 2 team, 61-0. Like, it's okay business. It's interesting. It's split in the chat, in the comments.
5 Aztecs, 6 Tamworth, 7 Giants.
Yes! Peel, you're an idiot. Yes, Jason.
Tamworth should be 6 or below.
I mean, at least, guys, when you're watching this, at least you get real live, not just words on a page ranking. You know what we're going through when we're deciding this. I can't put my name out on a Tamworth lower than that.
Mate.
Imagine we scored that last play, Leicester. And yeah, but you didn't. You got a flag, sir.
Well, I'll post it out. Don't fucking worry. It's like
Tamworth for 5.
Mate, like I think you've got to looking at the Leicester result.
Yeah, but
how can you say that? Like I don't understand it. Like
if we was having this conversation
Leicester
about Aztecs,
couldn't move the ball the other day again.
If we was talking about Aztecs versus Tamworth, I could probably fold on it, but I can't fold on Sheffield because there's no disrespect to Sheffield. Like Sheffield, you've not done enough.
Right, and
it's the most sense you've ever talked. Because I can't hear you.
Well, I said this. I said it was a toss-up between Aztecs and Sheffield for which way around we had it in.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
So have you muted my mic, you fucking dick?
No, I promise I'm not. Right, so the only question, well, everyone, you've got one thing to comment. There's a lot going on.
Can you hear us or not?
Yeah, I can hear you. Literally, you got 2 minutes.
Can you hear us or not?
I can hear you sporadically. You come in every so often, then you go, which is fine. It's perfect. So you've got a chance now to comment. You can have one or the other, which is you can have Leicester, Tamworth at 5 or Sheffield at 5. They're the two options. I'm for. You're on Team Mike for Tamworth and Team Adam for Sheffield. Okay.
No, like I don't even know. I've got a delay going on here for some reason.
Daniel, why are you doing?
I don't even know
power
if you can
rankings
hear us. I don't know what the hell's
now,
going on.
I can now. Daniel, why are you doing power rankings for an amateur sport that has only had 2 matches in almost 2 years? You might as well put the Titans at number 1. Or we may as well just not do the show if you want, bro. The whole point of what we're doing is try and make a bit of fun. But yeah, sound. No worries. Cheers, lad. Way to keep us inspired. Well, because Adam's gone, we'll go Tamworth at 5, Sheffield at 6. Tamworth probably could and should go and put a result on, and then that's it. Take us out of the top 20. So here we go. So Adam's coming back now, hopefully. We'll wait and see. So for now, we will leave Tamworth at 5 because we've had enough people thinking.
No, we fucking won't. No, we won't. Drop them into 20 like Jason says.
Imagine an American receiver who played since he was 8 lined up, fine all game, checked with the ref and still got flagged. Right, there's a bit of Tamworth Leicester banter going on there. I want Tamworth at 10. Jason, look, the rankings are the rankings. There are rankings. Tamworth 5, Sheffield 6, Bristol 7. Maybe the other debate, does Bristol go above Sheffield?
It could, to be fair. Like I said, it's out with them too. But I think they both go above Tamworth at the minute.
I think that makes more sense.
Scroll further down. We'll leave that bit like that.
We'll leave it like that for now. I think
the Vikings climb higher. The Chester climb higher.
No, they beat a Div 2 team. Leicester, I don't want to see them sliding more. Shropshire there. Edinburgh, you're just there because you're not playing same VKP. Yeah, I mean, that's unfair on Edinburgh, if I'm honest, because that's Edinburgh. I mean, do Edinburgh go up to there? Is that fair for Edinburgh? Because they're not actually played.
No.
No?
No, I'd put them back.
Okay. EKP.
So, like I said, people are getting confused. This is a week by week thing. Like, just let teams play it and see what happens.
You're a pair of rankers.
You can get that.
It's fair enough.
Yeah. By the way, for some reason, I have got a massive delay on my mic for some reason.
Well, that's good. So, everyone, just so you know, this is the last show we'll ever do because of this kind comment that we had. So, because there's no point in us doing the show for an amateur sport. So, thanks, everyone. It's our final show. Thanks, everyone, for watching. But we're just going to delete.
He can get fucked. Rankings. Whoever that is, whoever said that can get fucked.
So we're just going to knock the show on the head because a troll commented that. So Rushmore, Knights fair, Chester fair, Rams fair. You've caused enough drama in today's show anyway. I like what's Nottingham are doing. So fair enough, Nottingham. Well done, you creep in, and then Bournemouth and Wembley. Wembley beat Bournemouth, did they? I think last week. No, they didn't. They beat Hertfordshire last week. So them two can stay as bonus teams. Are we happy with that? Oh, he's gone quiet again. I know. I can tell he's saying no. His mind's telling me no, but my body. Oh, I love the power rankings. I can't hear a word he's saying.
What is going on with his mic? I don't know what is going on.
Daniel for CEO. Yep. Thank you very much, Shadipo. It's been real, guys. Aaron Willis, it has been real. It's been a pleasure doing the show for you all. It's been a good run. Thanks. You're welcome. But this amateur sport, We'll never escalate above what we are now because Mr. Shadipo said so. Thanks all. It's been real. It's been emotional. Adam's mic's absolutely bollocks. So we'll see you all next week. Bye. Tamworth should be 4.